Adventures of Sonic Episode 41, Attack on Pinball Fortress. We see humans making some clay jars. They have funny noses, and they get hit with a stupidifying ray by Robotnik himself, explaining why it was actually accurate. I love that Robotnik is in a different outfit, even if he's shirtless. He looks good in military gear, even if overly serious. Robotnik wants to take over Mobius by making people too stupid to resist him, and he clearly isn't thinking things through. Imagine a world where all the surgeons, doctors, and engineers are completely stupid. Robotnik hits Scratch with the stupidifying ray, and naturally that has no effect. I think it might have worked better if it hit Grounder instead, since he has the dumb guy voice, but they're both equally stupid. Scratch is just not so above it all. We see Weasley trying to sell someone with a creepy mouth a book where all of the pages are blank. So for the first time, we actually see him being a con man like he was treated as. However, when the customer is hit with a stupidifying ray, Weasley gets himself a sale. It'd be interesting if he tried to steal the ray from Robotnik. Also, no, he's hit with a stupidifying ray. It's still hard for me to believe that he would buy that book. They could have easily had him say that he wants to buy the book with blank pages so he has something to write in. Sonic puts a donkey on a seesaw, spin dashes to cut the rope of an anvil that shouldn't even be there, and sends the donkey upwards. He taunts Robotnik to get him to shoot at him so he can avoid the ray. I guess if the main characters were hit with the ray, it'd just be stupid humor with them acting like idiots with an annoying dumb guy voice the whole episode. So I'm not looking forward to the idea of that happening. The donkey kicks Robotnik away, somehow not injured from the fall, and a military sergeant wants to use the stupidifier to create his kind of soldiers, not realizing that even a really stupidly obedient soldier will still suck because soldiering requires some talent and independence. Like, watch the episode Malcolm in the Middle where Reese becomes a soldier. Because he turns off his brain, he's so obedient that when he loses contact with his boss, he does nothing and gets captured. Anyways, Weasley fights with the surgeon over the ray, as I wonder why Sonic doesn't just destroy it with a spin dash instead of standing there like an idiot. I guess he wants a chance to use it on Robotnik. Shouldn't he just grab it and run away? He slams a boulder on top of it when that ray could take down Robotnik. Robotnik calls Sonic and says he still remembers how to build the invention that was destroyed. And a surprisingly brilliant moment for the show, because most of the time when Robotnik's inventions get destroyed, like the invention that Eggman used to get Robotnik back in Archie, it's as if Robotnik's brain was rewired so he could never build the invention again. But here, he actively plans to make a giant stupidifier ray to brainwash everyone at once, actually explaining how he plans to do this, although it'd be better if he said he has plans to put that ray on the satellite. This is one of those plans that are silly, but also extremely threatening and dangerous at the same time. Stupid drivers would cause tons of fatal car accidents, for example. It's one of the most brilliantly written for Sonic Eggman plots as a result, up there with my favorite stories of Fleetway, because the premise is very silly, but it's also very threatening of the villain. This could be Robotnik's plan for the finale, and it might work because of the silly tone of the show. It'd be less dark than him planning to erase all organic life from existence, but it'd still be an epic plan that's very dangerous. The Sergeant and Weasley decide to work together with Sonic to get to Robotnik's fortress. Why doesn't Sonic just go there himself and leave them in the dust? He'd get there faster. These slowpokes are just padding out the episode because he doesn't just grab their hands and drag them along to run up to the fortress that he gets to easily most of the time. Also, where did he get that costume? Tails warns Sonic that Robotnik's building the invention he already said he would, go figure, because he spied on him. That was padding. Sonic ties rope around a rock, and he manipulates the Sergeant, saying he bets he can't hit the ball of rope that far. So Sonic jumps ridiculously high to beat the ball there and catches it, and ties the rope around a pipe. If he had a Chaos Emerald, him jumping that high would have been justified. The Sergeant puts some hanger on the rope to slide down it, but Weasley grabs him to tag along, and the two start fighting because they want the ring for themselves. I'm surprised Weasley made it this far, but it shouldn't have been because he's supposed to share the episode with him. So meta logic, even though he really should have fallen there. Robotnik threatens them, and Sonic wonders how they can get through the door that Weasley somehow recognizes by the model of the lock. Even though Sonic is able to spin dash through a metal door, he doesn't know what to do here, and Weasley is forced to be useful instead, by putting a convenient door-melting liquid on out of nowhere. Victories like that feel more satisfying when it's clearly established ahead of time what tools the characters already have on them. It does nothing for me when they win with something they have out of nowhere, like an explosive earring. Sonic gets sent through a random pinball machine out of nowhere. This doesn't work as well as when Sadie M did it, as the pinball machine had actual purpose in the plot there. What was the point of that scene? Robotnik tells Scratch to get back to work on the stupidity cannon while threatening the heroes from camera footage. The heroes are trapped on a rock floating in the lava, and the sergeant wastes bullets not knowing what to do. Robotnik pilots a scorpion mecha. Sonic spin dashes to destroy the ground the scorpion was on and falls into the lava. It's a good thing for Robotnik that he's not enough of an active villain to have actually been in the scorpion mecha piloting it like I thought, or he would have died from that. Then again, that didn't kill Eggman and Sonic and Knuckles when his Eggmobile fell into the lava, but that was just one of the video games. Sonic bursts into Robotnik's room, and he's so surprised from this that he relatably looks intrigued. Sonic pretends that he's giving up and regretful for causing him trouble, giving him a gift and saying stuff like kinda to make his apology sound sweet and realistic.
Sorry for all the trouble I caused you. Here's a small treat to, kinda express my feelings.
Seriously, well, he's not literally a sociopath because he cares about Tails. This is the kind of extremely good manipulation faking emotions talent that a sociopath would excel at, because he looks completely sincere here. He should get an acting job. Somehow he fit his partners in the tiny present and they jump out of it just fine. That's not funny. Maybe if a scientist like Vaughn had made a present that's bigger inside than outside, or a shrink ray, this would have worked. Weasley and the Sergeant turn on each other, however. But because they stopped holding Robotnik's arms to do so, Robotnik gets away really quickly, and the writer tries way too hard to have him look childish, to the point of being on a similar level of when Eggman said Sonic smells and no fair in Rise of Lyric. Ugh, it just sounds like bad writing just saying that. All of this after they jump out of the gift and before the landing happens so fast that I kind of missed it the first time. Scratch seems to intentionally hit Robotnik with the stupidifying ray as karmatic revenge for being rude to him.
Shoot! What was that, your hideousness? I said shoot, you debot! Uh-oh!
Since he presses it with a smirk, it makes him stupid. I like that, if that's the intent. It's probably not, because that would have been good writing. Robotnik screws up, making Smoke show up with an alarm going off. Why would Robotnik ever install a destruct lever that did that to his fortress? Well, I guess it's a rage quit idea despite the heroes if he lost, because he might escape and they wouldn't. But that's not explained. Like, it could be a punishment if Robotnik was ever killed off. Like, it's just assuming that the robots would pull the lever. But yeah, the lava explodes and this causes part of the fortress to fly up in the air. I'm sure it'll be perfectly fine in the next episode because fuck having a major victory for the heroes. Tails slows down the Sergeant's fall because of his flight, which was helpful, but everyone fell in the water and was fine anyways. It's lampshaded thankfully that Sonic was wrong and they didn't make that good of a team. Why have them there then? Scratch yells at Robotnik, "Don't touch that lever," which took me a while to realize it reminded me of that exact same line in Sonic Adventure 2. And Robotnik causes an explosion and laughs about it. Sonic says has him get hit with the stupid ray again, and Sonic shows up out of nowhere and teaches kids that to avoid being stupid, they have to stay in school, and that's it. Okay, but tons of people stay in school and are still stupid, but that's oversimplifying things. Also, since when did we see Sonic in school? What a hypocrite. This was a pretty good episode. Robotnik makes a raid to make people really stupid because then they won't resist him as a ruler. He doesn't think the consequences of this on the world through at all though. This is one of the most threatening plans he's ever had. The world will be completely screwed if he succeeded in it. Surgeons, doctors, people who drive vehicles, construction workers, all sorts of different people becoming that stupid would basically doom the world to make an unlivable place for Robotnik himself. I guess his logic is that he'd make robots to replace the skilled people, but how long would that take? He makes robots like Scratch and Grounder. What if he gets really sick before then? Or injured? This plan would not be worth it for him to succeed at, and he never realizes this. This is a very threatening plan, but it's one he should have thought through, because this is dumb enough to remind me of the episode of Kid vs. Cat, where Cat had a plan to turn the whole town dark briefly, which would have had basically the same effect. Cars would crash all over the place for one, and probably crash through his house. And he never realized this and felt like an idiot afterwards, which would be better writing, showing that the writer himself thought of these consequences. Oh yeah, and Sonic shared the spotlight with Weasley and a sergeant out of nowhere, who were only necessary by surprising Robotnik and grabbing onto his arms and kicking him, but then they let go of his arms anyways. I guess maybe that was necessary for him to eventually get led to being made stupid by a smirking Scratch. Really, the sergeant and Weasley did nothing but pad out the plot. Sonic didn't need them at all. They should have both fallen down on the way to the fortress, but maybe that would have been too dark. Like, especially if we didn't actually see them be okay afterwards.